I'm Nick Costos wishing you minimal sweats when he bets the absolute very best of luck.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Abdalla, here we go. Tonight, Game 4 of the NBA Finals, Spurs and Knicks, 8:30 Eastern. The Knicks lead the series 2-1. And I feel like a lot of the conversation heading into tonight's game is it does feel like the enthusiasm and the confidence from the New York Knicks fans and the New York Knicks, it's on very thin ice heading into this game. Well, this is why I would say this. Tonight to start the game, the Knicks have to get out to a hot start.
Are the Daubers down?
Well, I'm just saying, after what they thought was going to be accomplished tonight, you know, Knicks fans, New York City, they were all looking for a parade at the end of this week. They thought that this would be a clean sweep and that it would be tonight would be the night. The first time since 1973 that the Knicks win the championship. And the Spurs, they win Game 3. And it does feel like we now have a series, which you and I thought we would have the entire way. But also that the Knicks crowd, if the Spurs get off to a quick start tonight, it's going to be a detriment to the way the game plays out compared to the overhype that we saw in Game 3, where we thought it would be an advantage for New York.
I feel like after the Game 3 loss, there's been a lot of actually. And you know how like the least favorite person in the group is the actually person?
Yeah.
Like, and so I feel like after the Game 3 loss, like the Game 1 win, the Game 2 win, right? You said the Knicks need to get off to a hot start.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done that in a single game so far this series. They haven't done that. In games 1, 2, and 3, the Spurs have got out to a big lead. And the Knicks in every game have come back. And then the Spurs have had to come back. And it's been a game of runs in every single game. And then at the end of games 1 and 2, we're like, wow, the Knicks, look at this team. 13 in a row. This all-time greatest team ever.
All-time greatest team to ever be greatest ever in the history of the greatest ever in the history of basketball.
Jordan, sit down.
That's what we were hearing heading into Game 3.
Take a seat.
It's true.
It's Jalen Brunson's on the throne and nobody else. He's on the Game of Thrones throne. All the thrones.
The greatest.
Right? But
ever.
Now that they've lost the game, it seems like we're actuallying everything, and it seems like we're acting like the Knicks are actually down in this series. It seems like now we're saying, well, actually, Jalen Brunson has been wildly inefficient in this series. Well, actually, Karl Anthony Towns has yet to score in the fourth quarter, and he's disappearing when we need him most. Well, actually, the officials suck. Well, actually, Wembanyama's a dirty player.
Well, actually, we're going to beat you up in the street if you're wearing a Spurs jersey.
And it's like, guys, the Knicks are up 2-1, and they still have a home game tonight. Like, go back in time and give any Knicks fan this situation, and they'll take this 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's not act like this isn't what it is. The Knicks are up 2-1 in this series. There's a home game tonight in Madison Square Garden. Like, what more can you ask for? This is a great situation.
I understand your point, and I agree, right? Like, right now, the Knicks are in the driver's seat to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
That's why they have to get off to a quick start.
But they haven't in the last 3 games, and they've won 2 out of those 3 games.
But it does feel like the Spurs figures something out in Game 3. And it does. And to your point, one of the things I wanted to talk about to start the show is you said, is Jalen Brunson inefficient? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? And it's all stuff that 2 games ago we were saying, this guy's the MVP of the series. This guy's unbelievable. How could we, but here are the stats, right? Michael Pina wrote this in the Ringer. If you look at Jalen Brunson, the Knicks need more and less from Jalen Brunson. That's what the article is about on the Ringer. And what it points to is when Brunson gets to the rim, he's shooting 50%. From the mid-range, he's shooting 21%. From three, that's not a non-corner three, 33%. He has 13 assists. He has 13 turnovers. When Jalen Brunson is on the court, the Knicks are minus 13, plus minus. When he is off the court, the Knicks are plus 20. We talked about this yesterday, how the Knicks bench has been dictating the series compared to what the Spurs will be able to do off the bench. And Dylan Harper coming off the bench is why I think he has to continue to come off the bench, because the Knicks have been great in the non-Brunson minutes. So this is not to say that Brunson is a problem. I also saw a stat, like an advanced stat, that if you count dribbles, right? Who's saying they're counting the dribbles? Oh, they have those stats,
Nerds.
right? Nerds have that. Jalen Brunson has dribbled the basketball twice as many times as the Spurs player who's dribbled it the most. So Stephon Castle's somewhere around like 800 dribbles here in the first 3 games of the NBA Finals, and Jalen Brunson's at like 1,500 dribbles. So like the ball in the fourth quarter, the ball is only in his hands. We have talked about at length that makes the Knicks very difficult, because in crunch time situations, Jalen Brunson is lights out. He is awesome. But with that, it is possible that this is playing into the Spurs' hands, because the Spurs are hoping to limit everyone else and let Brunson dribble the basketball by himself, be inefficient, have turnovers, take difficult shots, and play that way. It is possible that the Knicks overall are a worse team in these games when it's all Brunson doing everything by himself. Now, the only thing I would say to counterbalance that is OG Anunoby had a game in Game 3. He had 28. Anunoby was good, hitting 30-point shots, getting to the rack. He was doing what he needed to do. But the Knicks need more. And they cannot play Brunson hero ball in the fourth quarter to get to crunch time and then allow Brunson to take over. They need the others to participate in the fourth. And then when you get to 2 minutes, that's when you go to Brunson dribbling the basketball one-on-one, getting his shot off. Because that, to me, is the key of this series. And I wonder if that's exactly what the Spurs want. They want him doing everything by himself. And that's the key of the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the offense has slowed down a lot. And it's gone a lot more to the isolation and the Brunson is going to do everything. And you saw that kind of focused in and isolated even more, for lack of a better word, in Game 3. And they looked a lot more efficient. And the ball was moving a lot more. Yeah. The way we saw against the Cavs, the way we saw against the Hawks, the way we saw against the 76ers in Games 1 and 2. And that's what got them those wins in Games 1 and 2. And for some reason, in Game 3, it wasn't working well. They weren't moving the ball as much. I don't know if they tightened up.
It did in the second quarter. They scored 42 points in the second quarter.
Okay, then what happened in the second half?
It slowed down. You're right. It slowed down.
I don't know what it was, but they slowed down. The offense slowed down. They have to get back to moving the ball fast. Like, the passing has to come back. They've been great at moving the ball around and efficient passing. That's what has gotten them to this point. And I feel like they got away from that in the second half of Game 3, and they need to get back to that in Game 4. And I don't know if it's the crowd getting into it, or maybe they're better on the road than they are at home in this series because of everything that went into coming back to Madison Square Garden and all of the pressure of being at home, and how the pressure was on them to win Game 3 at home. And maybe this is, now that they've gotten through Game 3, maybe Game 4, it's a little bit easier. I don't know. But I feel like they looked different in Game 3. That offense looked different than what we saw for the 13 games in a row
that
they won than they did for that 14th that they lost.
Game 3, it looked a lot like the Knicks from last season.
Yeah, it did.
Right? Like
it did.
With Thibodeau.
It did. It absolutely did.
Where it was Jalen Brunson do everything, everyone stand and watch.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this idea of you look at the plus minus, the minutes when Brunson is off the floor, the Knicks are actually losing this series. Because what happens when you remove Brunson from the group and he's on the bench? You have everyone working together. You have cutting. You have three-point shots from other players. You have guys attacking the rim. That's what they need. That's what the Knicks need. Now, on the other side of it, for Wembanyama and the Spurs, they have to continue to attack the bucket too, because that's what Mike Brown complained about after the game, the free throw disparity between the two teams, and the fact that the Spurs had 24 free throw attempts in the second half of Game 3. Now, I'm guessing because this is the way it works, professional sports, and especially the NBA, you get someone that's whiny and complaining.
Oh.
And then in Game 4, well, I mean, how else do you describe the way the last 24 hours have gone with those from New York supporting their Knicks?
Careful.
There's a lot of whining about their team.
Careful.
And Brown leading the charge.
Careful.
So I'm guessing tonight the whistle will go in favor of New York. So that means Wembanyama and Castle and Vassell and Harper and Fox, they have to go to the rim strong. They have to expect to get fouled and for it not to be called. I'm guessing so. I would also say, in a larger context, it's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I've enjoyed the NBA playoffs, and I've enjoyed that it feels like the way it used to feel. Watching the game. Contact, physicality. That's basketball. I like the way the officials have called these games. The last two rounds specifically. Let them play. I don't want to see trips to the foul line constantly. I don't want to see the game stopped for all this nonsense. Play the game.
Yeah.
I like the way it has felt the way I remember watching basketball as a kid in the early 90s. This is what playoff basketball should be. It should be difficult. It should be tough. And if you want to flop around and try and sell calls, I'm sorry. And that's where I get to the conversation of the whining over the last 24 hours from Knicks fans. Listen, the league announced it yesterday that there is no flagrant upgrade on the uncalled foul on Victor Wembanyama, the push to the back of the head of Jalen Brunson. Tough. Get over it. All right? The game's tonight. Move along. Having Knicks fans complain so much about Brunson not getting the foul called in that situation on Wemby, and that Wemby's a dirty player, it's just insane. And then I would also go to it, like if we really want to break down all of this and get specific on the rules, what the hell happened in the Luke Cornett, Josh Hart dust-up? Did I count 5 Knicks players come off the bench? Or is that 4 Knicks players?
Apparently after the
5
whistle
or 4?
blows.
Well, but
Yeah.
the rule is this. If you come off the bench in a dust-up or a fight, you are suspended for the next game.
Yeah.
So are Knicks fans cool doing that too?
Well,
Or should we just let both be?
it only matters when it happens for the Spurs. It only matters for the Spurs. It only matters when it happens against them. It only matters when the guy is 7.5 feet tall and he's attacking the guy that's 5'5", right? And Brunson's not 5'5", but you get the idea.
But I mean, if we want to go back and eject, suspend, add flagrant fouls after the fact, okay, let's do it. What do we have? We have 5 Knicks players that are suspended for tonight's game because they came off the bench in that dust-up with Josh Hart and Luke Cornett?
No.
Or is it a nothing? It's a nothing.
It's a nothing.
Wembanyama pushing Jalen Brunson. It's a nothing.
No,
you know what's kind of a something? How about Brunson try and stay on his feet? When Stephon Castle got called for a foul for running into him, watch the video. Brunson is jumping backwards onto the ground.
If there had been fisticuffs,
what are we doing there?
If there had been fisticuffs, maybe that you look into suspensions, but there was nothing. It's a bunch of guys just standing around each other.
Of course it's nothing.
It's ridiculous.
Well, that's why I'm saying there's a lot of complaining from New York in the last 24 hours. A lot of whining about the officials. Play the game, right? Like, I think it's what people wanted.
Yeah.
Isn't this what the style of basketball people have wanted for a long time?
Yeah, I don't like it when we get a whistle every 5 seconds. It slows the game down. It's not fun to watch. The flow is disrupted. I understand that the Spurs got a lot of calls, but they were going to the basket. If you're going to the basket, if you're playing inside, you're going to get calls. I don't know. Maybe get Karl Anthony Towns to touch the basketball in the fourth quarter and go inside. I don't know. Adjust your game plan. I see that he doesn't shoot the basketball in the fourth quarter. Those are what the stats show. Maybe get him some touches in the fourth quarter. Mike Brown, instead of looking at the free throw discrepancy. Do your job.
And I think that's where I wasn't planning on starting the show to try and torch and roast the city of New York. But the impression that I've gotten over the last 24 hours is that you guys lose one game and then everything is a problem. How about you just show up and play better at the end?
I like New York.
No, so do I. I think this story
it's a fine city.
I think the story with the Knicks has been fantastic. And I love the support that the city gets. Stop beating up people in the streets who are wearing Spurs jerseys and stop complaining about the officials.
I'm not one that hates on their pizza. I think their pizza's just fine.
Listen, pizza's pizza, man. It's all great.
It's all great.
I have no problem with pizza.
I have no problem
Pizza's
with it.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's probably the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything better than pizza? No, I don't think so.
What about pizza that the sauce tastes like SpaghettiOs?
Well, Raj, you're bringing up a callback to when we were in Pittsburgh.
Sore subject.
And it was 1 a.m., and the three of us are in a pizzeria looking for just a slice, a quick slice. And we asked ahead of time, is this going to be quick? And they said, yes, get the cheese. It's all we have that's quick. We said, sure, we'll take 2 each, 2 slices each. We haven't eaten all day. It was the night of the NFL draft. We're just looking to walk back to our hotel room with some slices, right?
Nope.
As 3 individuals would do in a new city. And when we get our slices, and we're after 45 minutes, which was not quick. And also after 2 other individuals named Adam and Raj tried to steal our pizzas.
It's a big city.
Never seen that before.
It's a big city with a lot of people in it.
I bite in, and legitimately, the sauce was the SpaghettiO sauce.
Yeah, but that's a good tang.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't complain.
That's a good sweet tang.
I was just observing.
Nothing wrong with a good sweet tang to the sauce.
I was just observing as I headed to Flavortown. That's all I was.
All right, guy.
I was just.
All right, guy.
Raj, I mean, were we not all heading to Flavortown?
You get your triple D out of here, all right?
Easy there. So yes, pizza's great. Stop complaining, New York. Play basketball. That's it. And maybe.
And stop beating people up.
And maybe do a little bit more to help Brunson. I don't think he can do it all himself. He's great. I don't think he can do it all himself. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. If you want to join the conversation, you want to rip New York too, you can call or text us at 310-840-4910.
Or support.
Yeah, or support. Yeah, either one. 310-840-4910. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Mini camps are going on around the NFL, and we have a couple of quarterback competitions. One most notably in Minnesota.
Speaking of mini.
J.J. McCarthy and Kyler Murray both spoke to the media yesterday. How did they fare in day 1 of their mandatory minicamp? We'll update that coming up next. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
Split every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks. Expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
4 years of waiting comes down to this. The FIFA World Cup begins tomorrow with host sites across the United States. Our country's in the international spotlight. The world is watching, and it all starts now. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
This summer, heading towards NFL training camp, we're going to have two teams with like legit quarterback competitions. I feel like we're going to get updates on each and every day. It's going to be the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. Those are the two, right? Those are the two quarterback competitions. Maybe a little heading towards Atlanta with their situation.
See, I think it's Atlanta and Cleveland. And I don't even think it's Cleveland. I think it's Atlanta. I think the real quarterback competition is Atlanta and maybe Arizona.
Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe we got four.
I don't even
Throw
think it's
both of those teams into the mix.
I think that if you want to talk about like real quarterback competitions, like legit quarterback competitions, it's actually only Atlanta and Arizona because Cleveland is set and we know Minnesota's set.
What about the interception thrown by Kyler Murray yesterday in Vikings camp?
Oh no.
Well, JJ didn't throw an interception. Did he? Yesterday? I'm just saying, if it's a true competition,
He's thrown enough interceptions.
we're gonna have to keep our eyes on both quarterbacks.
He's thrown enough interceptions.
Both quarterbacks spoke yesterday to the media. JJ McCarthy talked about whether or not he asked for a trade.
I think I made it very clear I wanted to be here before I got here. And I love this organization. I love the coaching staff. I absolutely love these players to death. This is where I want to be. I feel like I can thrive in this system. And, it's just, everything played out exactly how I wanted it. I wouldn't want anything else to change.
So that's JJ McCarthy. He also went on to talk about the lack of reps because he's splitting reps with Kyler Murray. So the lack of reps, here's JJ McCarthy.
Those reps being distributed are something out of my control, and the only thing I focus on is that next rep, and keep it as simple as that.
All right, so there you go, J.J. McCarthy. Sounds more balanced than what we heard last time. He seemed pretty irritated with the media last time, talking about his situation, quarterback competition with Kyler Murray. That seems more like he understands what this is.
Obviously, I think someone got to him. Or someone probably talked to him, or maybe he heard what he saw or read back what he said or heard the quotes back or something and realized that, hey, you can't speak that way or compare it to high school or,
what did he say? We're just two kids in the class?
Yeah, we're just two guys in the classroom and, Kevin's, coach is teaching us and we're just there to learn. But look.
Meanwhile, Kyler's like, yeah, if he has questions, I can help him. I've been in the league for 7 years.
Yeah, I think that the way you look at it is Kyler knows what's going on. He's there for this job. And McCarthy's being asked if he wants to stay in Minnesota. Like, they're getting two different questions. Kyler's getting asked if he's getting enough reps, and JJ McCarthy's being asked if he wants to stay in Minnesota or if he's going to ask for a trade.
Yeah.
The way this is going to go. So the writing is on the wall. Now we're getting to the point where Kevin O'Connell is going to start getting asked if he's doing a disservice to this offense.
Well, here's what Kyler Murray had to say yesterday about not getting all of the reps.
I think the toughest part is, again, I was there for 7 years. I know I had two different, offensive systems, but at the same time, you're getting all those reps. Now having to split reps, it's me already being behind, not getting the amount of reps that, you would typically want a guy to get learning an offense. That's probably the toughest part, just, again, going back to the past, being in control of everything, understanding what we were already doing because I was comfortable within the system. Now coming into the new system, learning on the fly, trying to play fast, efficient, and let it loose while learning is that's the toughest part.
So that's Kyler Murray. Realistically, it doesn't work when you have these competitions and you have to split the reps.
No.
Because you're right. Like you were saying, does it hold back the offense? It holds back the offense because the leader of the offense, the quarterback, is not getting all of the reps that he needs to get with the number ones. That's the key. If you're split the reps, your offense is not able to move forward the way it should in this situation. A couple weeks ago, Jeff Schwartz was filling in for you. He'll be here tomorrow hanging out, and it'll be interesting to bring this up with him tomorrow as well because he has told us on this show that quarterback competitions and competitions in the NFL are not real because you don't have the time to afford a true competition. One guy's the starter, one guy's the second player, the backup player. Usually the starter will be the person that's making the most money or the more valuable player for the franchise. You know, a guy on a rookie deal might be that. This is a weird situation in Minnesota because theoretically, J.J. McCarthy should be the guy.
Yeah.
He should be the guy that they're focusing all their efforts in on because that's the future. Rookie contract quarterback that they drafted, that head coach was a part of the group that drafted said player. That's usually how it goes. But he hasn't played well. So because he hasn't developed and he hasn't played well, we're in a situation where Kyler Murray is being brought in, and Kyler feels like the guy that will be the starter.
And I think that this is something that can take place now between these two quarterbacks where you can split the reps now and you're not doing a disservice because some of these head coaches are being honest and some of the head coaches are like, yeah, we're kind of working through some things. Like Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions, and Sean McVay, head coach of the Rams, were asked about like what you can do during these times. And McVay was like, yeah, I mean, listen, OTAs are kind of like whatever. Like until you get the pads on in training camp, like this is just kind of whatever, just getting guys in shape in phase, like they'll call it phase 1 and phase 2. Dan Campbell, the Lions, was like, all this is nothing until we're actually like we're allowed to hit once we get into training camp. So to me, you can do this splitting the reps for these like BS 2 or 3 days where guys are in, you know, they're not even in pads and whatever. And your guy, you know, some guys, you know, you're out there for a couple hours. You're not really doing anything. You know, you're doing 7-on-7s. Like we talked about, you know, Todd Monken, our guy out here for a haircut. Who is out here? Who throws? He said,
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Who throws an interception?
Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
Who throws an interception with 7-on-7, right? Like he's mad that guys are throwing interceptions when they're doing 7-on-7. They're not even in pads. You're not getting rushed to the quarterback, right?
That's your guy, Shadur.
Exactly. Oh, easy, buddy. Them's fighting
I
words.
was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Them's fighting words, okay?
I'm just saying
so
that's...
If you to me, you need to have this solidified by training camp because that's, to me, when it's real.
Yeah.
Because that's this isn't the Browns situation. This isn't even the Cardinals situation. This isn't even the Falcons situation because I don't think the Falcons have like a chance at winning their division or making a playoff run. The Vikings have a legit chance.
Abdalla killing off the Falcons already. Jeez.
The Vikings have a legit chance at making the playoffs and winning the division. The NFC North, while it being the toughest and deepest division in the NFL, anybody can win it. You can make the case that anybody can win this division. And Kevin O'Connell knows that. And the best way to do that is to give one quarterback all of the reps during training camp. And whatever you want to do during the preseason games. If you want to give Kyler Murray, however you want to split that up. I think guys should play during the preseason games. However you want to split it up, a series, 2 series, a quarter, that's up to you guys. I don't care. They should play, though. Get as many reps as possible. Get ready for the season. And you have to do that and solidify that. You can't get into August and late July and still be doing this, well, one day it's Kyler and one day it's JJ. No, that's BS. You have to get ready for the regular season. So solidify. Everybody can see this. Like everybody else. Your number one wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, was on a radio station saying, Kyler is throwing guys open. He can see the defenses. He knows the offense. And I'm excited to see how JJ grows. Like, what are we doing? Are you serious right now?
For your scorecard at home, since Abdalla cares so much about who's the number one each and every day, at Browns camp yesterday, Shadur was number one.
Oh, okay.
Today at Browns camp, Watson will be number one.
Okay.
So just for your scorecard at home,
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Todd Monken with his sweet haircut.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Yesterday was a Shadur day.
Okay.
Today, Watson's the number one.
Chris,
Yeah.
I think as far as the Browns go, they're both number 2.
All right. Thank you very much.
You said, come on, you said you put that was right. That was on a tee.
You deserve this.
You set that up. You put that like that was. You saw that coming
Nope.
a mile away. Like when you said that, you had to see that coming.
Hard pass.
Come on.
Hard pass. Just let you just sit out there by yourself. Yep. There it is. Boy, that was tough. That was rough.
No, that was good.
That was not good.
Grade A humor right
I
there.
do want to say this. It's something, man. So tomorrow the World Cup starts. We love soccer. We love talking about soccer. We don't really do it here on the show because we get it. People aren't really coming to Sports Talk Radio to talk about soccer, but we love the World Cup, and we are here to celebrate the World Cup, the Bleck Abdalla show. Now, 48 teams. You have 3 countries coming together to host the World Cup. It starts tomorrow in Mexico. That's where you'll have the first games, and I believe Mexico is hosting the very first game. It's Mexico and South Africa.
See,
3 o'clock Eastern tomorrow on Fox, the opener of the World Cup. South Korea and Czechia will play at 10 o'clock later on tomorrow evening. And then Friday, you have the men's national team playing. The men's national team will host Paraguay, and that will be at 9 Eastern on Friday night from SoFi. So the World Cup is here, and we love celebrating the World Cup. And that's why here on the Bleck Abdalla show, we love talking soccer, and we love talking soup. That's right. We will have the World Cup of Soup.
No soup for you.
Bleck and Abdalla's World Cup of Soup.
Soup is good food.
Yeah, so this is how it's going to work throughout the World Cup. Obviously, there is the group stage. So the group stage of the World Cup, Abdalla here has taken it upon himself to look at the 12 groups for the World Cup, and he will find a cup of soup for each group, and he will taste test it here on the show, as we call this the World Cup of Soup.
if you're new to the Bleck and Abdalla
Yes.
program during the week of the Soup Bowl,
Yes.
I take it upon myself to find 5 different soups from an area. We were in San Francisco during the Super Bowl.
From an area?
Well, I mean, usually we've been in Chicago. We broadcast
Yes.
from the great city of Chicago. So
Yes, from an
usually,
area.
usually it's Chicago.
Yes.
But we were in San Francisco for the Super Bowl. So
Correct.
I took it upon myself to traverse the great city of San Francisco to find soups around San Francisco and rate the soups of San Francisco during the Soup Bowl.
Yep.
And so now normally it's just 1 week of soups, but this is a great event. This is
Yes.
once every 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
So we break out the soups for the World Cup of Soup. And so, yes, for the group stage, we will be selecting 1 country from each group because 48 soups is not something my stomach can handle.
Yeah, it's a lot of soups.
It's a lot of soups. So starting, because I'm off tomorrow, starting on Friday, we will begin the World Cup.
You know, the World Cup
Of
just
soup.
sneaks up on people. It's only once every 4 years.
Yeah, so does moving, okay? I mean,
I wasn't going to out you on why you're not going to be here
I'm
tomorrow.
moving. You know, I got to carry some boxes. So starting on Friday, we will be beginning the World Cup of Soup. And don't want to get sued. And so we will.
What, do you think FIFA's going to come after us for a bit?
FIFA comes after everybody,
Wait,
dude.
but
There's
I
no
know, what
hiding
would they
from
come
FIFA.
after?
They're canceling.
That we're just saying we're enjoying some soup and soccer?
Listen, man, they're canceling hotel reservations left and right. They need all the money they can get right now,
They
okay?
overshot.
All right? They're canceling stuff left and right. They need all the money they can get. So, from Group A,
Sure.
we've got Mexico, South Africa, the Korean Republic, and Czechia. Probably going to go Mexico.
All right, so that's Friday. So each day throughout the group stage of the World Cup, we will feature a cup of soup.
Yes.
For each group in the World Cup. And then when we get to the brackets, the field of 32, it's the largest World Cup we've ever had in soccer. when we get to the field of 32, the knockout rounds, Abdalla will take those 12 soups from the 12 groups. He'll put them into a bracket, and we will have a good old-fashioned bracket of soups to find a champion here in the World Cup of Soup.
Yeah, and going through the brackets so far, there's always a group of death.
Oh, okay.
There's always the hardest group of the World Cup. It always has the 4 hardest teams. You know, going through the groups right now, as far as the soccer goes, as far as the competition goes, I'm trying to find the group of death in this one. Is it Group L? Is it England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama? Is that the group of death?
It's pretty difficult.
That's a tough one.
Ghana's a tough team for your third team in the group.
I know.
That's usually what you have to look for.
Is like the third tough team because they expanded the tournament this year. It's hard to find a group of death. But for
because usually in most groups, for those who don't for most of them, all 12, you have 2 very talented teams, and then 2 teams that are. I think most people would say shouldn't be in the World Cup, but that's a different conversation.
That's why FIFA expanded, but whatever.
Whatever.
For me,
I think it might be Group L might be it.
For me specifically, finding soups from said countries.
Okay, is
my group of death.
Yes,
is going to be Group B, which consists of Canada, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Qatar, and Switzerland.
You saying you don't know any good restaurants serving Qatar fare here in the city of Chicago?
I don't know any good Qatarian restaurants in Chicago. I don't know any good Swiss restaurants. I mean, we are close to the Swiss Hotel. Do they?
I don't think that will count.
Does that not count? I mean, I think
so.
My best bet is to find a Bosnian restaurant around here.
So there you go. Starting Friday, we will have the World Cup of Soup.
No soup for you. Bleck and Abdalla's World Cup of Soup.
Soup is good food.
That's right, here on Bleck and Abdalla. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. That's right, the World Cup of Soup. It all starts tomorrow. Can't wait for the World Cup to get started. And also Friday night, Team USA will play late that evening.
And Shakira.
Well, yes, and the Shakira music. For the World Cup. Are the Chicago Bears actually moving to Indiana? One NFL insider thinks they are moving closer to actually doing this. We'll tell you about that coming up next.
The Stanley Cup Finals is knotted up at 2 apiece. Let's now play a best-of-3 series, shall we? The Hurricanes are back home. Can the Golden Knights steal one on the road? Game 5 is tomorrow night. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We broadcast each and every day from the great city of Chicago. I'm Chris Bleck with Adam Abdalla. We have in this story about the Chicago Bears moving to Indiana. You and I are trying to fight the good fight in trying to let people know nationally that this is not something that has happened yet. That it's a possibility, but we both believe at some point the state of Illinois will respond to what the state of Indiana put out there. And at some point, the Bears won't actually move to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
But it's out there, and people are talking about it, and it's starting to pick up steam. So yesterday, on the Adam Schefter podcast, Schefter talked about a source that told him something about a possible Bears move.
I reached out to one guy after the board of directors voted and words started getting out. And his exact words to me, and I read them to you from his text. Because I'm like, is this real? Are they moving to Indiana? He said, yeah, it is. It's not a bluff. His words. Oh. There is more work to do, but barring anything very strange, it's a done deal. And then he wrote, his words again, Illinois effed it up. The politics are unbelievable in that state. Totally dysfunctional. Now, I don't know politics in Illinois. No idea. But somebody that's there sent that to me. And obviously, if you're getting to the point down the road where we're talking about the Indiana Bears, the Hammond Indiana Bears, something's gone awry.
So there you go. Adam Schefter from a source that was texting him who would know what's going on. Now, the thing that stuck out to me, and it's not necessarily the game to play, is to figure out the source. Who's the source that's reaching out to Adam Schefter?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's telling that the person that texted Schefter, and Schefter read this on his podcast, the text, said that state, which would lead me to believe it's not someone who is a part of the ownership group of the Chicago Bears, because the owners have lived here their entire lives. You don't refer to a state as that state if it's your state. Or am I reading too much into this?
No, you're not. You're not.
Right? So, like, it's got to be someone who's in the organization, who's not from Illinois, explaining this to Schefter. And that, like, that sticks out to me. Mm-hmm. It's obvious. And I don't know if ownership will go through with it. I think it's a bluff. I think this whole thing with Indiana is a bluff.
I still am of the belief that if the Bears wanted to be in Indiana, they'd already be in Indiana. There's nothing stopping them. There is nothing stopping them from already building in Indiana. Like they could be doing everything that they could have done with Arlington Heights or Chicago in Indiana. They've already passed all the stuff that they need to pass politically. They could be doing site surveys. They could be doing all that stuff.
So pause right there. They haven't done that. Like
exactly.
That's the key here.
Exactly.
Is last night locally in Chicago, NBC Chicago reported that the Bears now are considering 3 different sites in Indiana.
Exactly.
Which means they don't have anything put together.
Exactly.
You know what they do have put together? They have a site in Illinois that they own. Mm-hmm. As long as they can convince Illinois lawmakers to do what they need with the tax cut. So there's still time. The governor of Illinois also mentioned yesterday to reporters that they can call a special session at any point this summer and they can pass what they need to pass to get this done. I think that's what's going to happen here.
I think so, too. I think that there will be a special session called at a certain point and something will get done.
So if you're around the country and you're like, what is this deal? The Bears are moving to Indiana. It's possible.
Yeah.
Nothing is finalized. They don't even have a site selected.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? They don't even have a place to plop the stadium down. So yeah, it's interesting that Schefter said that. It's also interesting that his source within the Bears is saying that state, Illinois, messed it up. Or as Schefter said, effed it up.
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. It must be coming from an outsider.
I think so, too. I definitely think so.
I mean, the real story here locally is that Kevin Warren botched this entire thing.
Yeah, president of the Bears. Yeah, for sure.
He botched it. And people know who he is. He used to be the commissioner of the Big Ten.
Yep.
He botched it. Yep. Hey, Raj, quickly, what question do you have about this situation?
So I saw something pop up on social, and you guys might laugh at me. I don't know. I wanted to ask someone from Chicago their thoughts on this, because you guys, the other big markets in the country, New York and LA, they have more than one team. If the Bears went through with this and moved to Indiana, is there a possibility for an AFC team to move into Soldier Field or Arlington Heights and for Chicago to support 2 teams, or am I nuts?
Okay, that is a good question. We should address this coming up in 5 minutes, because I think it is an interesting angle to look at. If the Bears left the state of Illinois, could the NFL replace the Chicago Bears in Chicago with someone else? Now, we've talked expansion in the NFL before. Mm-hmm. There's also teams in other markets that maybe are not as glamorous as Chicago, the 3rd largest market in the country. Could the city of Chicago support 2 NFL teams? Because that's what really is. Hammond, Indiana, even though it's in Indiana, it's 20 minutes away. Yeah. So it's the Chicagoland area. All right, we'll address that coming up next. It's Bleck Abdalla right here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Sirius XM Channel 375. All of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, live from Chicago, on the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. 5 minutes ago on the show, we were talking about and updating the latest on the Chicago Bears situation, on whether or not they are going to move to the state of Indiana. The latest is this. Indiana has passed some bills that are favorable, where they're going to up restaurant taxes and hotel taxes, and to essentially give the Chicago Bears a sweetheart deal to move across state lines to build a new stadium. The state of Illinois has not passed anything like that for the Chicago Bears. They're asking for the state of Illinois to do the same. The politicians and the government process in Illinois has not done that. So the Bears released a statement last week saying that they've moved their focus towards building a stadium in Indiana. With that said, they've yet to say that they have selected a site. They've yet to say that date. They have set the date on when shovels are going in the ground. And I think that the state of Indiana is there to be a bluff to get what the Bears want out of the state of Illinois. That's it. It's not realistic for them to stay in downtown Chicago. There's no land. There's no spot to put a stadium, right? Mm-hmm. That's the long-standing conversation here, is that the site that Soldier Field sits on now is a historical landmark, so it's challenging to find land on the lakefront or anywhere else in the state of Chicago for a new stadium. You know, they want to build a mega stadium, big deal with a dome so it can host Final Fours and Super Bowls and all that stuff. So as of today, I think it's still, at some point, the Bears will announce that they will be staying in Illinois. That's my opinion on the matter. Mm-hmm. Now, Raj asked us a question moments ago on whether or not, say it goes through, say Indiana wins the team, right? And the Chicago Bears move across state lines. For those who don't know, Hammond, Indiana is about 20 minutes south of Chicago. In fact, there's many people that live in Chicago that can drive right across the border, get cheaper gas. And they do so all the time in the state of Indiana. It's like a thing people talk about here. Yeah. So you can drive over the border to Indiana to get your gas, and then you drive right back. So it's very close in proximity. In fact, a stadium in Indiana would actually be closer in proximity to downtown Chicago than the Bears moving out to the Illinois suburbs where they originally wanted to place their stadium. Raj asked the question to us 5 minutes ago here on the show. Could the NFL put another team in Chicago if the Bears leave Chicago? Do you think that's possible? Could the NFL, if there's an expansion team, a team that wants to move their location, could Chicago support a second NFL team?
I don't think they would. No. I don't think the fans would support another team. I mean, look, we talk about, as you and I broadcast out of the great city of Chicago, and today is a great city of Chicago day. It's like 90 degrees. It's like, this is a
summer,
great,
baby. Here
this
we
is
go.
a great summertime.
Step outside and you
Chicago
immediately
day.
sweat. It's wet out.
It is. It's a
Yeah.
gross, humid day.
I love
but
it.
You love it.
It is the summer, baby. I love this.
Ugh. Now, in the summer, we can say it is you can say 70% of the city is are Cubs fans. 30% of the city are Sox fans. 120% of the city are Bears fans.
And 150% of all of us hate the Packers.
Exactly.
And that's life.
And
in
we
Chicago.
all vote twice. And
Yes.
and all that.
Don't you dare
Yeah.
put ketchup on a hot dog.
And don't put ketchup on a hot dog.
Yes.
And so no one is going to support a second team. Whether you're moving a team here or you're expanding the NFL by adding teams, like, it's just not going to take place. Like, it's the charter franchise. Like, if the Bears were a franchise that had been here for the last 20 years and you were like, okay, let's add another team like this, they have some fans, but they've only been around for 20 or 30 years. This is a franchise that just celebrated a milestone, like 100 years. Like, this is a charter franchise of the NFL. There is no way that the fan base would support another team. Like, I understand that there are fans that are going to say, I'm not going to go to games anymore if they're going to go to Hammond. Okay, so you don't go to games anymore. You're still going to watch them on TV. You don't think that if the Bears are good, you're not going to watch? You're not going to cheer on, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and all these guys if they're good? They were good last year. It doesn't matter where they play. You just might not go to games anymore. You're still going to watch them on TV and cheer for them. But if you put another team, whether it's in Arlington Heights or you move them into Soldier Field, if it's still there, or they do something else with it, I just don't believe that the city of Chicago, if they call them the Chicago whatever, or if they call them the Illinois whatever, if they move them to Arlington Heights, I just don't think that this fan base would support another team because the Bears are just so ingrained. I mean, the Bears are a national brand with the SNL stuff from, the super fans, with the Super Bowl shuffle. Like, it's such an ingrained part of society.
Yeah.
That Bears culture is a thing that I just don't think another franchise would just fit. I just don't.
You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's also the third largest city in the country. The two ahead of Chicago, as far as population goes, both have two teams. New York City, the New York area, they have two teams, Giants, Jets. Los Angeles. Hell, I mean, for the most part, everyone associates Los Angeles fandom with the Raiders from back in the day. I know that the Rams now, it's Rams house, the whole thing, they're good now. But like for decades, they had no teams, and they had a team that left that went up the coast that was the team that everyone is a fan of. It's either Raiders, Cowboys, some 49er fans in Los Angeles, but you have two teams there.
But nobody's a Chargers fan. They joke about how they don't have a home field advantage.
But the Chargers are in Los Angeles. It's Rams-Chargers. So Los Angeles supports two teams when you could argue that, like, if today it's Rams as the number one fan base for the NFL in Los Angeles, I'm guessing you could have a pretty close contest on number two being either the Raiders, the Cowboys, or the Chargers.
I would say
that I'm guessing the Chargers are behind both the Raiders and the Cowboys in Los Angeles.
Exactly, which is why I would say they have two teams. I don't think they support two teams.
Okay, but
there's a difference.
It is possible. I agree with a lot of what you said about the Chicago Bears in the state of Illinois. We also, in this city and state, used to have two football teams. The Cardinals are a charter member franchise of the NFL. And when the NFL started, the Arizona Cardinals were in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And they've moved multiple times. They went to St. Louis for a stint, and now they're in Arizona. So the Cardinals used to be a Chicago team. Few and far between, but every once in a while you come across someone who's like an older person here in the city who's like longtime Cardinal fan.
Okay.
Like that does happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying it can't, and I don't think Raj's question from 10 minutes ago was crazy. I think it's a big enough city to support another NFL team. I think the problem with this entire conversation would be if you have that new team, it would have to be a billionaire owner who's willing to just build their own stadium without public funding. Because otherwise, that franchise would run into the same problem that the Chicago Bears are running into right now, is that they want help in funding their their stadium. They want help from the taxpayers to help them. Right?
I know.
So if you had someone, a Mark Cuban, just name a random billionaire who could come in and just build a stadium like Stan Kroenke did in Los Angeles. Now, he's trying to get money back after the fact. But to build it, he put up the cash. What was it, like $6 billion for SoFi Stadium?
Yeah.
$5 billion? They were able to get that done. Now, if someone wanted to do that here in the state of Illinois or in the city of Chicago, you could. And the example to that, there are two of them currently here in the city. The guy that owns the Chicago Fire just up and said, I'm just building a stadium. My money, right? Soccer team, right? MLS team. And it's like all the MLS teams are building their own soccer stadiums now. Okay, his money, he's building it. They have the location. They've already started digging. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people nationally aren't aware of this. We've talked about it here on the show a few different times. But the Chicago White Sox have a ownership changeover that will take place in the next 6 years. It's Justin Ishbia. You know Matt Ishbia, who owns the Suns. His brother is Justin. They both are, billionaires, and they love sports. Justin has a deal in place where he will become the owner of the Chicago White Sox under two different stipulations.
Mm-hmm.
By 2033, if that date comes around first, then he becomes the owner of the White Sox. Or if Jerry Reinsdorf passes away. If Jerry Reinsdorf passes away, the franchise goes to Justin Ishbia.
Mm-hmm.
Ishbia has already done the work behind the scenes here in Chicago, where he has a location picked out in downtown Chicago for a new stadium. He's already reached out to the rail yard industry because he wants to move some rail lines into the city, some metro lines, Amtrak lines, because he wants the stadium in the downtown area on the river looking back at the city. So at home plate, when you're behind the home plate watching the game, you can see the cityscape in the background. It'd be cool. The drawings are out there.
Yeah.
Ishbia is a billionaire. He's going to get that done the moment the team is his.
Yeah.
So like if you wanted to, if there was a billionaire that wanted to take an NFL team to the state of Chicago or the state of Illinois and just pay for their own stadium, technically Raj's question isn't crazy, because if the Bears open up a spot and someone else says, I'm going to take claim to this place and I'm going to build my NFL franchise here, it could happen. You're right. There's going to be a lot of diehards who are just going to stick with the Bears.
They'd be the third supported team in the state.
But it's also football.
I get it. They'd be the third supported team in the state.
People love football, man.
It'd be the Bears, Packers, and then because there's a lot of Packers fans here.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of Green Bay fans who are in Illinois.
So
no doubt.
It'd be Bears, Packers, and then the hot dogs. I don't know, whatever they call them.
The new NFL team would be the hot dogs.
I don't know, because all the names are taken. Cubs, White Sox, Bulls. Like, what are you gonna call them? What are you gonna call this team?
Raj, do you think that answered your question?
It did, yeah. I think you guys didn't. I was expecting it'll just laugh at me and say, "Oh, there's no way that would happen. It's just silly. It's just on the other way to state line." But there are openings, as you mentioned. By the way, to your point, Abdalla, where you said third most popular team, you guys were talking about LA earlier. I did a little research. The Chargers, at least according to these metrics I found, are the sixth most popular team in Los Angeles.
Now, is that other sports too, or NFL only?
Amongst NFL teams, number one.
Okay, let's guess. Number one in LA.
Yep.
Is it fair to say that the Rams have done enough? They've won a Super Bowl. Are the Rams one?
Yes.
Roy's
the
in
metrics
LA.
I found had the Rams.
Okay, Rams
had
one.
the Rams
okay,
at
we
one.
got that.
All right.
Raiders.
Raiders 2.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go. Should we go Cowboys 3 or should we go 49ers?
49ers.
All right,
Yes.
49ers.
Okay.
4 Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yes. One more team before the Chargers.
5. Okay, hold on. Let me think here. All right, so the Raiders moved. The Rams moved.
Should we go something geographical?
You're on the right track, Abdalla.
Well, okay. Oh, so it'd have to be Seattle. That's the
Seattle,
only
that's
other
what I'm
team.
thinking.
Or Arizona.
Nope.
Arizona's? No, it's not Arizona. He just said no.
Big
Denver.
brand on this part of the country.
Denver.
Broncos.
Okay,
Broncos.
let's ride.
And then the
Rams,
Chargers.
Yep. Rams, Raiders, 49ers,
The
Cowboys,
Broncos.
Broncos.
And then the Chargers.
And then the Chargers.
That's 2 teams
Which
in the
totally
Chargers
makes
division.
sense. Every time the Broncos play the Chargers in LA, the whole crowd is orange. Just like when the Niners play. It's funny. But when you have
That's
two teams
my
there, it splits
point.
it.
My point is that you can, yes, would they be able to have a team? Sure. Would a majority of the fans be teams from another team's fan base that's currently playing in your stadium? Would you ever have a home field advantage? No, you would never have a home field advantage.
Okay, let me add this to the conversation. You can text the show at 310-840-4910. A text from the 630, which is the Chicagoland area. Here's what the texter says. Chicago would support a, quote, cool owner like Cuban or Bezos, and they would draw a following. Compared to the opposite, which is mom and pop, Chicago Bears, crying poor for money.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the NFL because there's a salary cap. The only thing that matters that in that sense,
paying for coaches, paying for things outside of that.
The Bears just got Ben Johnson. They paid him $15 million a year.
I'm not arguing
what do you
with you.
want?
Can I throw a name at you guys?
The only thing that matters for is the stadium. The NFL has a salary cap.
Why are
you want to talk about?
You want to yelling at me?
You want to talk about that in baseball? That's fine.
Why are you yelling at us?
I'm not yelling. I am yelling.
Can I throw a name at you guys?
Yes.
What if it was an ownership group led by Michael Jordan?
Yeah, people would be all in.
All right, now we're talking.
Jordan Abdalla laid out this whole thing that we all, everyone's a fan of the Chicago Bears, and that trumps everything. Jordan is above that. Jordan here, if Jordan was like, I have an NFL team and I'm placing it in Chicago to bring back greatness to the city of Chicago, everyone would be on board with that. Absolutely. And Raj, I think your question is a good question because two things. One, this conversation has come up here in Chicago before the Bears were even planning on moving. I think it's like the little brother syndrome where we see the two other cities on the coast with two teams, and we're like, why don't we have two teams? So, like, we've talked, like, you and I have hosted shows like 10 years ago where, like, the topic was, could Chicago support a second NFL team? We've done this before. So, like, it's been out there. The other thing I would add to this is, Raj, I don't know if people around the country have, like, ever thought of this. We have been led to believe here that the NFL, because of George Halas and the Chicago Bears being the charter franchise of the NFL, that no matter what happens in the future, the Chicago Bears are the only team in Chicago.
Well, what happens if they're not in Chicago anymore?
Well, I'm just letting Raj know that, like, in the past,
that was the understanding. Right.
We have been led to believe that the NFL is protecting this market as a market that only has one team.
And what happens when they're not in?
Are there clauses in the contract that break if it relocates across state lines? Like these things
not
don't
even
know.
across state lines. What if they go to Arlington?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the city limits.
I still don't understand why you can't knock down Soldier Field and just build on top of it and take over a park. You want it bigger? Take over a parking lot.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know how to.
They never do that.
They
They never tear down the old one and just build right on top. They always go somewhere else. They never.
I mean,
do
Chicago tried that once. Like that, Soldier Field was rebuilt to look the way it is now.
Yeah, they tore it down and they left the columns up and they just put a spaceship on top of it.
Because it's a historical landmark.
Yeah.
That's why. All right. Have we done enough Chicago stadium talk for today? I mean, shout out to those in Buffalo. I mean, y'all just figured out how to get your stadium built.
Like
you guys have a stadium.
Can you guys come here and tell us how to figure it out?
Nashville Stadium's going to be up and running soon. I mean,
you guys can come visit me. Broncos' new stadium's on the way. We're all set.
Raj, you will have. What year is that stadium opening?
31 is the
Okay, your stadium will be open before we even have a location here in Chicago.
Before shovels in the ground?
Before shovels in the ground. 2031.
5 years from now?
Yes. Well, I'm not kidding. You want to talk about getting old and how time moves quickly? Autumn and I were talking about this the other night because I was updating her the latest I've heard on the. I didn't say my wife. I just said her name.
I'm letting people know who you're talking about.
They know. So
I don't know.
We're talking about it, and I'm updating her on the stadium situation. And then she's like, man, so you don't think it will be built until like 2033, 2034? I go, yeah. And, unfortunately, like, Caleb's going to be in like year 8 or 9 at that point. Like, he's going to be on the back end of his career when the stadium even opens. And I was like, oh, man, are you serious? Like,
he'll have 3 Super Bowls by then.
Our MVP quarterback with 6 straight Super Bowl wins.
I know.
He won't even have a new stadium to play in, Raj.
Tell you what, guys, once it's built, though, I'm hopping a flight from parts unknown to Hammond, Indiana, and we'll hang out.
You know how hard it is to move a statue?
I know. The Caleb Williams statue will be constructed, and it will be 3 times the size of the Jordan statue outside the United Center.
I mean, it looks like a pretty industrial area there in Hammond. It'd probably be pretty easy for him to make it right there.
See, right? We'll construct that first, stadium second.
Yeah.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. It is a Wednesday. That means we have Stock Watch with Raj coming up next. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks. Expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Watch out. San Antonio went into Madison Square Garden and won. Don't crown the Knicks just yet. It's a 2-1 series. Can the Spurs even it up? Game 4 tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Each and every day, broadcasting live from the great city of Chicago. It's Bleck and Abdalla hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. Now we go on out to Colorado, parts unknown, and we get a chance to hang out with Raj Sharon. Yes.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed. Today, a Wednesday, it's time for Stock Watch with Raj. What's up, Raj?
What's up, fellas? It's time to build up those NBA Finals portfolios where we buy and sell stocks. Today, it's a special edition. The stock value concludes. It matures, as the bankers would say, at the end of the finals. Yeah, anybody can buy a Wendy and hold on to that thing for 10 years, but when the finals are over and when the O'Brien Trophy is held, you cash out at that moment. So keep that in mind. Abdalla, as we start off with Kat, are you buying or selling your NBA Finals stock in Karl Anthony Towns?
I think I'm going to sell. One, I'm horribly allergic to cats. So
Okay. All right.
I don't want to hold any of that.
He's talking about Karl Anthony Towns.
I understand. Enjoy the joke.
Basketball player.
Sit back and enjoy the joke.
Don't tell
Although
me-
it is being reported that Taylor Swift, noted cat lady, will be in attendance for Game 4.
Oh.
So
Is she really?
I'm
She was
just
at
reading.
the Toy Story
this is
premiere
new.
I'm
last
reading
night.
what page 6 is saying. I'm reading what page 6 is saying.
You got information?
You got
Page 6
info?
is saying
You got
Taylor
Tay
Swift
info?
to attend Game 4.
What about, so she will be there in attendance.
I believe Travis is going to be there. Maybe, they got to look at the venue.
Is there
Oh,
gonna
so
be
they're scouting?
I believe you got to
Scouting
check in
the
on the
venue.
venue, right? You got to check in on the
Jeez.
venue,
Really?
right?
Is your guy going to be there tonight?
Well, I do want to say this. Some of my guys will be there. Some of my guys will be there, and I do want to say, sorry, Spurs, you walked in with an L because at halftime, the Wu-Tang Clan is performing.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sorry, Spurs. I'm sorry, Spurs.
I thought you were going to say that Red Panda was performing at halftime.
You just lost because Wu-Tang Clan is performing.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'll just say this. If they're all there, because it's very hard to get all of them in one place at the same time. I think
Who's the hardest to get there?
The hardest to get is probably in the same place at the same time. It's probably hardest to get the RZA and the Jizza in the same place at the same time.
By the way, this topic began with Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes.
NBA Finals. Are you buying
I was
or
just going to list
selling?
off all of his guys that are going to be there in attendance
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm just letting you know.
Your other guy going to be there tonight?
No, and he's not my guy.
Larry David?
Larry David will probably be there. Yeah. Action Bronson will be there.
Who are you
maybe.
talking about?
I don't know.
I was talking about our guy, Larry David.
They never show Action Bronson when they do Celebrity Row, and I always think of
No.
Abdalla now because he always brings up Action Bronson.
I don't
like
think
on
he's
the same
actually,
level
I don't think he's
as
actually
like
don't think he's- I don't
Chalamet and
think he's-
Tracy
I follow him
Morgan.
I follow him on Instagram. I don't think Action Bronson's in that status anymore. I think he's Western Conference or Eastern Conference final status. I don't think he's final status.
He's like it's Mariska Hargitay, and then there's Action Bronson. It's like I never see Action Bronson when they do the little drive-by.
Bronson's not at that status.
Yeah, he's not sitting courtside with Ari Emanuel.
No. I'm selling Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything in the fourth quarter yet. Come on, dude. What are we doing?
Yeah, this is a tough one to start with, Raj, because I'm playing your game and we are selling it at the end of the finals. If the Knicks win the finals, it will be because Karl Anthony Towns has 2 great games in this series ahead of him, and the Knicks win the finals. So if we're playing the game, I think I have to buy Karl Anthony Towns because if the Knicks win it, his stock will be higher than it is right now. So I'm going to buy. I'm playing the game.
All right, guys, let's go to Victor Wembanyama. He's obviously the big name of the whole series. Not a long-term thing. We're not buying. We would all be buying Victor long-term. We know that.
Right.
For this NBA Finals, where we sit going into tonight's Game 4, are you buying or selling Wemby? Bleck?
I'm buying because I think we saw a more controlled effort from Wemby in the last outing. And I think that the idea of the Spurs making it a point to get him into the paint and get early paint touches only solidifies that he is almost unstoppable when he is close to the basket. So as long as he's getting into the paint, he's going to continue to give you what you saw in Game 3, get 32 points. So I would imagine for the Spurs to continue to play like that and to win this series, they're going to need more of that from Wemby, so I will buy.
I'm also going to buy. I think that they might have figured something out with Wembanyama, which is he's tall, not hard to figure out. And so I'm going to buy. I think that by the end, this will shift. And I'm not saying that the Knicks are going to lose, but I think that they figured something out with Wembanyama. He's going to dominate again tonight. But I still think the Knicks will end up winning the series. But I think that I'm going to buy Victor Wembanyama.
All right, next up, guys, here's a fun fact for you. Games 1 and 2, Knicks won. Jalen Brunson shot 4 and 5 free throws. Game 3, all the talk about the free throw discrepancy, he shot 8, but they lost. So I give you that as somewhat of the background here as we decide if we're going to buy or sell our NBA Finals edition of Jalen Brunson, Abdalla.
I'm still going to buy Jalen Brunson because I believe that the Knicks are still going to end up winning this series. And for that to happen, he needs to be more efficient and he needs to find a way to be the best player in this series, even though Victor Wembanyama is still the best player in the series. Jalen Brunson needs to win Finals MVP for the Knicks to win this series, even though Karl Anthony Towns needs to figure out whatever he's doing. But Jalen Brunson needs to be more efficient, and the stat you gave is great. He's got to figure that out. He can't be this ISO hero ball thing again. So I'm going to buy Jalen Brunson because I think that when and if the Knicks end up winning the Finals, he will be the reason, and he will return to what we saw in the Eastern Conference Finals and throughout their 13-game win streak, and he will go back to being the guy that we saw before.
Have we done this game on the air? Abdalla, do you know where New York City is at?
I do.
Do you know where the state of New York's at?
Yeah, it's in the East, yeah.
You guys know. We've talked about this, right?
Well, the problem is
Abdalla doesn't know geography.
The problem is that we keep talking about, we've spent so much time talking about the Western Conference Finals because they played 7 games and the Knicks were sitting at home with their feet up for 1,000 days. Chris?
Yeah, so my answer would be, I see what Raj is pointing to, that when Brunson's shooting more free throws, maybe he's not as efficient, but I think he has to get to the foul line. I think the Knicks need to continue to attack the paint. And whether it's Brunson, Anunoby, Bridges, Cat, whoever it is, continue to go to the rim. So I'm going to buy Brunson because I think for the Knicks to win, like Cat, what we're going to have to see is that Brunson gets back into that conversation of like, how good is he? Is he a top 10 player in the league? How great of a champion is he that he was able to pull this off as a guy who's only 6'2"? So I'm going to buy the Brunson stock.
All right, guys, sometimes the term dog gets overused in sports, but boy, this guy sure looks like a dog so far in this series. And throughout the playoffs, are you buying or selling your NBA Finals edition of Stephon Castle, Bleck?
I'm going to buy because, and I'm buying a lot of these players performing well here in the final couple games of this series as we move along. Game 4 tonight. To the Spurs in Game 3 was that Castle was not turning the ball over, and he was he started the game shooting like 6 of 7. So not only was it Wemby who got off to a quick start, Stephon Castle got off to a quick start. He's really the one that kind of sets the pace for the Spurs offense, even though a lot of it's going through Wemby and that De'Aaron Fox is playing the point guard position. Stephon Castle's the one, as long as he continues to get to the rim. And that's what he did in Game 3, and he was very successful for it. So I'm going to buy Stephon Castle.
I'm also going to buy. I think that, as young as he is, he can mature. Even in the next few games, he can mature. If he continues to play the way that he has and gets better and better, even by the end of the series, he can continue to be one of the best players if not in this series in the league, because we've seen that the Spurs are at the best when Wembanyama's not doing the most. And they're at their best when Stephon Castle's doing the most. So if he's going to do that and they're going to win this series, he needs to be the guy doing all the scoring and everything else. So I'm going to buy Stephon Castle for sure.
All right, Abdalla, the Knicks lost Game 3, but OG and Anunoby came to play. Are you buying or selling him the rest of this finals?
I'll buy. I like what I saw from him in Game 3. If he continues to do that in Game 4, if they're going to have any chance of, stopping Victor Wembanyama, it's going to be a combination of him and Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm going to buy, especially if he's going to shoot from 3 like that occasionally. I like what I saw from OG Anunoby. I'll buy a little bit.
I'm going to sell. I will say this, though. I watch a lot of NBA basketball. I'm surprised at how good OG Anunoby is. That's my statement.
Okay.
He has been better than I thought he was. And he's like the perfect player for this Knicks team. But I'm going to sell because I don't think he's going to be able to give you what he gave you in Game 3. The 28 that he scored and the aggressiveness towards the basket and the three-point shots. I'm going to sell OG Anunoby.
All right, guys, and finally, a player's been pretty inconsistent throughout the playoffs, the finals included with it. The $50 million man, the highest paid player on the Spurs. You kind of forget about him. De'Aaron Fox. You buying or selling?
I will buy because I think he goes back and forth, having a good game, bad game, good game, bad game. So I believe his last game wasn't as good as he was a game before. So that means tonight he'll have a good game. And then in Game 5, he'll have a not so great game. And then if they have to have a Game 6, he'll have a good game. So I'll buy because he'll end the series on a good game.
Raj, I'm selling. I think the reason the Spurs, if they lose this series, it's they don't get enough from De'Aaron Fox. So I'm gonna sell. I do understand Abdalla's point. He has had a couple of decent games, but for the most part, he hasn't been the player that's lived up to the contract that he has with the Spurs. So I'm going to sell.
It does seem like when he's on, they're like unbeatable because of everything else they have, but he's not always on. All right, that does it for today's Stock Watch, fellas.
Thank you, Raj. Appreciate it. Stock Watch with Raj here on a Wednesday, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. Are you seeing what I'm seeing online? The AD from Texas Tech is now pushing back. He released a statement calling out everyone for calling Texas Tech out for the Brandon Sorsby situation.
His statement can be summed up with two things. It's double birds.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what this statement is that they are going to play Sorsby this season, and tough blank to all of you. I'm not directly quoting him, but that's what this statement is. That's the way I read it, that the Texas Tech AD, Kirby Hocutt, is releasing as of right now, is that they don't care. He also lays out in the statement that the university has had no part in the lawsuit against the NCAA. They've also talked about the young man seeking help for his mental health situation. The dude gambled $90,000 on sports. I get it. It's. What are we doing here with this?
Two things can be true at the same time. He can get the mental health help that he needs and go to rehab for gambling and all of that. And he can also not be allowed to play football in college football again. And he can go on to play football in the NFL, where he can make a lot more money if he wants to.
Does seem to me like a very slippery slope to suggest breaking rules and then citing that you're getting help for mental health would then eliminate any punishment from said rules that you broke.
Yup.
So that's out there. The Sorsby story is going to continue to float around until we actually have an answer on whether or not he's playing in this upcoming college football season.
Yeah, I think as long as they can fast track this NCAA appeal, it's not going to be right now. It's scheduled not to be heard until the end of the season, which doesn't do anybody any favors. But
no,
if you can fast track it to before the supplemental draft, which is in 12 days.
Okay, yeah. So
you can see that. If not, you have to at least do it before the season starts, the college football season, because if they rule him ineligible, if they grant that appeal and they rule him ineligible, then at least he can't play. So I don't know. It's all a mess.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm guessing the college football world is probably not going to appreciate the statement that was just released by the Texas Tech AD. I'm guessing that's the case. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I saw this earlier today. The Milwaukee Bucks, we know that they want to shop Giannis Antetokounmpo before the NBA draft that will be coming up in a couple of short weeks as well. There's one team that the Bucks are waiting for. We'll tell you who that is coming up next.
4 years of waiting comes down to this. The FIFA World Cup begins tomorrow with host sites across the United States. Our country's in the international spotlight. The world is watching, and it all starts now. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam. This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Make sure you check out the podcast on Apple and on Spotify. You can always watch the show live on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to Bleck and Abdalla. You guys are watching the NBA Finals. Game 4 tonight. Knicks and Spurs. The Knicks have the 2-1 lead in the NBA Finals as Game 4 is this evening. We're also awaiting different big stories in the NBA that are going to take place the moment the NBA Finals end. One, if and when LeBron signs somewhere, what's his plan for this upcoming summer? The second big name that will likely be on the move this summer will be Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks have already publicly said that they are looking to shop Giannis. And this is what's going to happen, is they would like him moved before the NBA draft. Their owner said that. They would like an answer to this before the NBA draft. So I saw that Jake Fisher reported this earlier today. It's really good on the NBA. He said that the Knicks are the team that Milwaukee is waiting out. That Milwaukee is fielding calls from various teams on various packages for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But the reason there's been no movement to this point on a possible trade being put together for Giannis going somewhere else, like we've heard rumored Miami or Orlando as two of the options, is that per Jake Fisher, the Bucks are willing to wait out the Knicks to see how the finals go here and hoping that the Knicks take one more run at Giannis in the next couple of weeks. And that's what the Bucks are waiting out.
Interesting, because you would think that they would be more interested in Giannis if they lose the NBA Finals because they're like, hey, we need one more piece, yada, yada, yada. But if they win, they might just run it back, try to go for a repeat, saying we're good enough. We can just do this again. Why try to mess with a good thing? Why try to mess with the chemistry? Why try to do all that and make the money work for Giannis and try to do all that because they'd have to extend him, all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see, if they obviously lose this series and lose this 2-1 lead here, if the Spurs even up the series tonight and then go back to San Antonio and end up winning Game 5, and then the Knicks are down, then yeah, that's obviously something you could explore. The Knicks are rumored for a team. We've also heard, watch out for Orlando. We've heard that Brian Windhorst reported that he's interested in going to Miami. So yeah, I mean, the Knicks, it's not surprising that them being one of the teams.
To me, I mean, the way that Jake Fisher is reporting is it's coming from Milwaukee's side of wanting to at least give one last attempt to engage the Knicks on a possible blockbuster trade for Giannis. With that said, I would be surprised from New York's standpoint that they would be willing to do it no matter how the NBA Finals shake out. Right? Like, no matter how this happens, Knicks win a title, or if the Knicks lose in 6 or 7, your team is good enough to win a championship as is.
This year.
As is.
This year.
They get better every year together. That core, they've grown together. You have to give the Knicks props for that.
Yes, but we've also...
Chasing superstars who can't shoot from the outside, I don't know if that changes anything.
This year, but we've also talked about how...
Like, is it worth ripping apart your roster, which the key to the New York Knicks is having the depth and all those different guys that have their specific roles? Is it worth ripping it apart so then you only have Giannis and Jalen Brunson?
But we've also talked about how this run has been not charmed in the sense of how the Patriots got to the Super Bowl, but it's been easier than most. It's been easier for the Knicks to get there. Yes, they've won 13 in a row. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it's been easier than the Spurs run. The East is easier. And if you want to, let's say it gets harder next year. Let's say all these moving pieces are going to happen. You want to compete in the arms race. And part of that arms race is adding Giannis Antetokounmpo, because if the Heat add him, you got to compete against that.
Well, yeah, okay, but I also
the Magic
think,
add him, you got to compete against that.
Yeah, but Giannis is the best player in the league who, like, I wouldn't necessarily want as my number one guy.
I get it, but if you don't get him,
is that a fair way to say it? Like,
sure,
like I'm not trying to.
He doesn't have to be your number one guy.
It's like, he can't shoot from the outside. He's easy to defend in a 7-game series. You need someone else. Brunson might be the perfect match for him.
Yeah.
But if you're someone like Miami or Orlando, like, you still need someone else. Giannis ain't doing it by himself anymore.
The problem is, if you don't get him in the East, someone else will.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it is also possible someone from the West.
Yeah, of
who
course.
knows?
He could go to the Warriors. He could do something like that. Of course.
The Lakers always find a way. I'm not saying, but there's always, we've seen strange things in NBA history.
The two teams rumored right now are both from the East.
Golden State. That's been out there.
Sure.
Been out there.
Sure.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We'll continue to preview the NBA Finals coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM channel 375. All of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago, on the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you. If you want to join the show, you can call or text us at 310-840-4910. Tonight, Game 4 of the NBA Finals, live from Madison Square Garden, 8:30 tip. The Spurs responded in Game 3. The Knicks lead the series 2-1. And tonight, New York, is it up to them to respond and have a quick start to this game? As we've kind of discussed here on the show today, it does feel like San Antonio figured something out in Game 3. I would also kind of point to the idea that until late in Games 1 and 2, the Spurs have really, for the majority of this series to this point, led the way, and they've been the better team, even though they're down by a game in this series. The Knicks have been better in the fourth quarter in Games 1 and 2. Unfortunately for the Knicks, they weren't able to pull it out in Game 3. It's a 2-1 lead. New York with it. Game 4 tonight.
I think it's not necessarily important for the Knicks to get out to a lead early, because we saw in Games 1 and 2, the Spurs got out to the early lead. Even in Game 3, the Spurs got out to another early lead, and then the second quarter started, and the Knicks got out to their run, and they evened things up, and they were leading at halftime, and then just like they were in Games 1 and 2, and then the Spurs had their rally, and then all of these games have been close-ish. I know Game 1 wasn't really close, and then, you had all of these games have had their moments where late in the game, it's been close. And in Games 1 and 2, Jalen Brunson was the closer. And then in Game 3, you had the Spurs turn into that. A combination of De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle. They became the closer when Wembanyama was a key part of that as well. And so the difference here is in Game 3, the offense slowed down so much for the Knicks in the second half.
Yep.
They didn't look the part that they did in their 13-game winning streak in the playoffs before that, where the offense, or even the entire regular season and playoffs before that as well, the offense was moving so fast. The passing was so crisp. They were confusing the opposing defenses. Like, they were just so efficient on offense. And that's what got them there. And that's why over a month ago, when we were talking about this team and their ability to even get here and win this thing, that's what it wasn't their defense. It wasn't their defense. It was this offense that said, if they can play like this and play this type of offense, they can beat anybody. But when they stick around and it's slow and it's plotting and it's just isolation with Brunson just trying to do everything, which is what they did in the second half of Game 3, the Spurs are going to beat them. And so they have to find a way to get back to what they did for 13 games of the playoffs, where they won all those games in a row, including Games 1 and 2 of the finals, and try to replicate that in Game 4 and find a way to win at home. Because if you go back to San Antonio, it's like the same thing we said for the Spurs. If you go into Madison Square Garden, and now obviously they won Game 3, so if you can find a way for San Antonio to win tonight, it completely flips again. But if you're the Knicks, if you win tonight, it's going to be tough for the Spurs. But if the Spurs win tonight, then they get it right. They get home court right back, going back to San Antonio for Game 5.
You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Riddle me this, Abdalla.
Batman.
If both teams play their best, who wins the game?
The Spurs.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what we're seeing here in this series is when San Antonio gets a good game from Wemby, Castle, and Harper, you can't beat them. Like, those are the three that if they all align and play their best game, in Game 3, Dylan Harper played 32 minutes. He had 13 points. He had 9 rebounds. And it felt like every loose ball, he had a hand in a passing lane. He was tipping it to a teammate. And between Castle and Harper attacking the rim in the open court, in sets, not just standing back and shooting threes, that kind of like allows everything else for the Spurs to work. Champagnie from 3. You're talking about Sell from 3. Fox is able to add his part to it. It kind of all makes sense. The Knicks have played great basketball as a team, but even if they play all of them together as their best, if all three of those guys from the Spurs are having their night, I don't think they can beat them. Mm-hmm. The key to New York to this point is in games 1 and 2, you did have various pieces of that not play their best at the end of the game. Harper hasn't been that great in the first 2 games against the Knicks at home. So I think that that's the way this series is going to go. Now, I could also point to the side of things for the New York Knicks that even though OG Anunoby gave you 28 points, Karl Anthony Towns only gave you 11 on 4 of 10 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3. If Cat is having a great game and he is scoring from the outside and he's playing good defense and he's disrupting what Wembanyama can do on the offensive end, and Josh Hart's hitting 3-point shots, and that Knicks bench shows up and is giving you points and production. Jordan Clarkson had 10 in game 3. I could see. I think these two teams are very evenly matched. And so it's going to come down to which team makes less mistakes and how many of those role players are showing up for the team. Like, I don't think San Antonio felt any of the pressure of game 3. I really don't. And we were talking about it going into the series, like what team has the pressure. And I said San Antonio had the pressure coming into this series, right? The Knicks have had an unbelievable run. But the pressure is on the kid that's supposed to be the face of the league. The pressure is on, we had a question from Raj at the start of the NBA Finals saying, what's the biggest storyline of this series? And the question was, is it the dynasty of the Spurs with Castle, Harper, and Wemby? They haven't won anything, and we're already talking dynasty. That, to me, is pressure. You get to game 3 up 2-0 in New York City with all the celebrities showing up and the waiting outside for 2-3 hours because of what's going on with the arena for the night. And it felt tight. It sounded like New York, the Knicks were tight. The crowd was tight. Mm-hmm. And it does feel like the pressure has absolutely shifted. They got up 2-0. But it does feel like the pressure now is on New York to bring this home. Where San Antonio, you already lost the first 2 games at home. Just go out there and play. Wemby, just go. Wembanyama lost a game in this series. His mistake in game 2, that pass off the back of Castle, with 12 seconds left. Mm-hmm. Dude, that was your moment to make one of those all-time great moments that league greats have done in the past in the NBA. Yeah. 12 seconds, you take the ball to the front court, you dribble out the clock, you take the final shot, bucket, you win the game. That's what the stars of this league do. Yeah. And he turned it over. So I don't think the Spurs have any pressure now. And they showed that, all right, we can win a game in New York. It doesn't matter. You have the crowd. You have Chalamet, you have Tracy Morgan, you have Larry David, you got Ari Emanuel, you got all these celebrities there. Abdalla's reporting. Taylor Swift will be there tonight.
I'm not reporting. Page 6 is reporting.
You mentioned it like 30 minutes ago.
I don't have inside sources.
You said Adam Abdalla's reporting.
I don't have like a guy at MSG that's like, hey.
What's up?
I'm more likely,
Jackson Dart.
I'm more likely to have a guy that's like, hey, Wu-Tang's going to be there than Taylor Swift.
I thought you were reporting something to us earlier.
Hey. Method Man's going to be there.
I thought you had intel. I thought you were bringing something to the show.
Yeah, I told you that page. I did tell you that page 6 is going to be the
page 6 is saying Taylor Swift will be in the house tonight.
Yeah, she's scouting the location.
Famous New York Knicks fan, Taylor Swift.
Well, she's scouting the location for her wedding.
Her and her cats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she's a cat fan.
Well, and then they've got the Toy Story movie coming out as well.
That too. Big movie.
Okay, so
big movie.
Point being,
I disagree with you.
I think the pressure's on the Knicks.
I disagree with you. You cannot go down 3-1 in a series. Like, you can't. You can't. It's going down. I understand you're going back home, but they lost those 2 home games because I feel like, yes, there's pressure on the Knicks to win at home. And the pressure of Madison Square Garden, it's because when they start losing, it gets quiet in there. Like, it gets real quiet.
Tight.
Yeah.
Right.
It does. But if you're the Spurs, if you're anybody, You don't want to go down 3-1 in a series. And yes, you forced a game 5. You get to go back home. You get to do all of that stuff. I understand all of that. But nobody wants to go down 3-1 and be on the brink of elimination. You don't want to be with your backs against the wall once again. You don't want to face that. And then you don't want to face that every game from here on out.
Yeah.
So you have to win this game. It's not the definition of must win, obviously.
It's a have to win.
You have to win this.
It's not a must win. It's a
not
have
a must
to
win. You have to win this.
It's a have to win game, not a must win.
It's not must win by the definition of must win, but it's a have to win.
It's a have to win. It's not a we would like to win. It's a have to win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would like to win it. It's also that.
Well, okay. So you got to pick. What is it?
It's you like to have to win it.
Okay. All right. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Can I ask you something about the National Football League? We love the NFL. We absolutely do. Yes.
I love the NFL.
Yeah, we're with Bart Scott. We love the NFL.
I love the NFL.
Yes, we love it.
How many days?
What is Brandon Ayuk doing?
I don't know, man. He's
what in the hell is he doing?
He's trying to get traded.
Is he?
He's trying to. He's basically, and he's trying to. He's all but going in and pulling the George Costanza of going in and taking the Super Bowl trophies and tying them to the back of his car and doing donuts in the parking lot. Like that's the next step. That's the next step.
Well, I don't think he wants to show up. I don't think they want him showing up.
Of trying to get fired or trying to get released or trying to get traded.
Like, isn't the story here that the San Francisco 49ers don't have to do anything?
They don't have to do a damn thing.
In his mind, he thinks they're trading him to a good team.
He thinks they can do a lot of things.
Wait, like, what is he doing? I don't get it. So it's the second time in 3 days that he has gone on social media and released videos. I mean, everyone's assuming he's talking about the 49ers, right? Like that, like he's not straight up saying 49ers this, 49ers that.
No.
But everyone assumes that that's the case. All right, so here's the latest. Ayuk, 49ers are stupid for paying me. Take a listen.
And another thing, you want to know why they really mad, though? They mad because they stupid. They dumb. They mad that they paid me $50 million in 8 months and then voided my guarantees for 2027. And I'm about to be on a new team in 2027. They mad at they selves for real. Acting like they mad at me, but they stupid ass mad at they self.
So what's going on? I don't get it.
What's going on here?
What's happening? I don't understand.
What are you doing? What's going on?
Doesn't he sound drunk?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's hoping that at a certain point they just go, this is not worth the headache. That like at OTAs,
yes,
that Kyle Shanahan is going to get asked about this, that players are going to get asked about this, and that they're going to say, this is not worth the headache. Let's just cut our losses and trade him. But they don't have to do anything. They can just say, Kyle Shanahan's going to say, I'm going to focus on the players that are here. And I'm going to focus, just like every coach that says, when he's asked a question about players that are either holding out of training camp or aren't showing up for training camp or aren't even participating in training camp, that are there, that are the hold-ins. When you get a guy that shows up but isn't participating, so he doesn't get fined, but is just kind of like standing on the sideline, that's what you're going to get. That's the answer you're going to get. So I think that's his hope, but it's the hope that kills you, man.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the situation. Like, how does this move forward? Yes, he thinks that the Niners are trading him. The ESPN article is saying that he would like to be traded to the Commanders. He's good friends with Jaden Daniels. He would like to go play for the Commanders, a team that's in direct competition with the 49ers of getting to the playoffs this upcoming season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both teams expect to be wild card teams at least.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to throw shade at the 49ers. They have higher expectations for the season, but at least wild card, which would put the Commanders in direct competition with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one. So this is the end of the article on ESPN.com. This is what it says. Now that June 1st has passed, the Niners can trade or release Ayuk with the rest of the dead money owed to him split up over the next 2 years rather than just in 2026. But the 49ers have no deadline to release Ayuk because he remains on the reserve left squad list. I've never heard of the left squad list, but the reserved left squad list, which means he's not being paid and does not count against their 90-man roster. If Ayuk does not report to the Niners to open training camp in late July, he would revert to the reserve did not report list, and that would trigger fines up to $50,000 per day. So Brandon Ayuk's online saying this, saying that, whatever he said there about the 49ers, and he's talking garbage online about how they have to trade him, do this, and they're going to see in 2020. The Niners don't have to do anything. And in fact, if they don't do anything and he doesn't do anything, the NFL will fine him $50,000 a day that he is not at training camp.
Yeah.
So I ask again, what are you doing, Brandon Ayuk? You think that talking crap online about the 49ers is going to convince them to do something?
I don't think he's getting proper advisement.
I think that's fair to say.
That's it.
I agree with you. I think that's probably the case.
I don't think he's got proper. I don't know if he's got an agent. I don't think if he does, I don't think his agent's doing him any services right now. And I think he should probably get new representation because that agent should tell him, stop doing this. And whenever training camp starts, report and either hold in until they trade you, but stop doing this and don't get fined and show up and just keep your head down until they trade you. That's it.
I mean, it's clear the Niners don't want him either.
No.
So it would behoove them to trade him and not have to eat the dead money on the cap.
Exactly.
Like that, like there is, but like they also could just do nothing. And if he does nothing and he doesn't show, he'll be on the reserve left squad list.
Yeah.
And then if the training camp starts July 1st, he'll be on the reserve did not report list
And
if he
he'll get
doesn't
fined.
report. And then he'll get fined.
$50,000 a day?
And Rod says, what if he shows? Well, then I think what would be more likely is he shows but doesn't participate.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is what the new term around the NFL is the hold in.
Hold in.
So they're there, but they're not actually doing anything, but they can't get fined because they're in the facility.
Mm-hmm. That's what in the Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett is doing, Josh Sweat is doing. Yeah.
So that's the latest with Brandon Ayuk. I don't get it. But you know it is possible. You said maybe the agent should do something. It is possible that the agent is trying to do something, but because he keeps going on Instagram, that, like it's his social media, right?
Yeah, so you can't control that.
As the agent, you're going to take the phone and chuck it into the lake?
I would.
Stay away. Can't do it. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Which NFL player sold the most merch last season? We'll tell you about that coming up next. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
Sweat every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
The Stanley Cup Finals is knotted up at 2 apiece. Let's now play a best-of-3 series, shall we? The Hurricanes are back home. Can the Golden Knights steal one on the road? Game 5 is tomorrow night. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We love football here on the Bleck and Abdalla show.
I love the NFL.
Yeah, thank you, Bart Scott. We love the NFL. We love football. Yep. And this summer here on the Bleck and Abdalla show, we like to take time each and every day on the program to celebrate football, the NFL, in a segment we like to call the Summer of Football.
I proclaim this the summer of
Football!
What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla each and every day here in the summer. Today, day 91. Westwood One Sports, your home for the NFL. Day 91, Abdalla, until the opener. The Patriots and the Seahawks to kick off the NFL season. 91 days away to the start of the NFL season. Today's topic here on the Summer of Football, I have the merch list. That's right. The NFLPA put out the top 50 players' sales in merch. So I've got the top 10 here of the entire list. The top seller in the NFL. Do you want to get from 10 to 1 or do you want the number one guy first? How do you
10
want to
to
do this?
1.
10 to
Count
1.
it down.
All right, number 10.
Come on, Letterman.
Number 10. Most merch sales last season in the NFL. Number 10. Defensive player.
Ooh, okay.
Number 10. From Green Bay.
Okay.
Micah Parsons.
All right.
Number 10. Number 9 on the list. Also a Green Bay Packer.
Okay.
Jordan Love.
All right.
Number 9. Number 8 on the list. An absolute direct rival of the Green Bay Packers.
Interesting.
Number 8, Caleb Williams,
Take
quarterback
that,
for the Chicago Bears.
Take that, Packers.
Okay, all right. Number 7 from Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, interesting.
Number 6, most sales as far as merch goes in the NFL. So it's licensed player products, jerseys, all types of stuff. Number 6, Patrick Mahomes.
Still?
Kansas City Chiefs. Pat, what do you? I'm surprised 6.
I figured
You're telling me there's 5 more players in the NFL that are more notable than Patrick Mahomes?
I figured if everybody would have had a jersey by now.
All right, so Mahomes is 6. Number 5. I was a little surprised by this. Number 5 on the list is a quarterback in the NFC. Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels.
Oh, he didn't even play.
Right? He was missing large portions of the season.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Isn't that surprising?
Yeah.
Daniels is ahead of Mahomes at number 5.
That's interesting. Okay.
Number 4. Wide receiver.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me check. Let me
Wide
think.
receiver.
Let me think. Top 5 receiver? Top 3 receiver?
He's up there.
Okay.
He's towards the tippy top.
Jefferson?
Not Jefferson.
The Cowboys got to be popular. Like Lamb?
CD Lamb is not on the top 10.
Okay.
No CD Lamb. Wide receiver just signed a new deal. Big new deal here in the offseason.
Smith and Jigba?
Jackson Smith and Jigba is number 4.
Oh, okay.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is number 4.
Wow.
Seattle Seahawks wide receiver. Number 3, a running back.
In this economy?
Yes. People love the running back. A running back at number 3.
There's only one. It's got to be Saquon.
Saquon Barkley is number 3. Yeah,
All
so
right.
the Eagles have 2 players in the top 10. The Packers have 2 players in the top 10.
Okay, all right.
Number 2 is a quarterback.
All right.
Who we have yet to name, obviously.
Okay. MVP, right? The top 2 have to be your MVPs.
Yeah, well, he just missed out on the MVP.
Oh. May?
Drake May is number 2.
May, okay.
Drake May and the player with the most merch sales.
This has got to be the MVP. This has got to be Matthew Stafford.
It is not Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford's not in the top 10. He won MVP.
No, he's not. It's Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Number 1, merch sales last year from the NFLPA.
Well,
Josh Allen is number 1.
it's not surprising. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. So,
well, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. Buffalo,
yeah.
even though based on compared to other cities is smaller, they have a national fan base.
Yeah.
The Bills, people want to see the Buffalo Bills win. And I think people like Josh Allen. And he's a quarterback who has been listed as the top guy who hasn't gotten over yet. People want to see Buffalo in that story get over. So I get it.
Yeah. Next year, Myles Garrett will be on that list.
Okay. Yeah, in the top 10.
New player? That's the only reason Parsons is on there.
Yeah, that's
You think
fair.
Parsons would be there if he wasn't printing new Green Bay jerseys?
That is fair. Let's see here. I'm looking for the full list.
And I think Caleb will be on there. I think Caleb Williams will be on there again. Because he will sell more this season. Like
All
from
right,
last
full
season
list.
onto this season.
Who are some of the players that you were asking about?
Stafford.
I'll tell you where they're at. Stafford, man, I'm scrolling. Where's
Really?
Stafford.
And you think that Chicago can support two teams? LA doesn't even sell jerseys, bro.
I mean, Puka Nacua comes in at 24.
My God.
Stafford. I don't see Stafford in the top 50.
To be fair, in LA, they're too busy wearing leather pants to games, so a jersey
I
doesn't really go
do
where.
not see Stafford in the top 50.
Okay.
Who else did you mention?
Any Cowboys? Where's the first Cowboy?
First Cowboy. Scrolling. CD Lamb is 21st.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane. Where's Lamar?
That's a good one. Lamar Jackson's 19.
Wow.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson's 13. How about this? Raj Sharon?
Bo Nix?
Parts unknown in
Nix?
Denver, Colorado area?
Bo Nix?
Bo Nix is 11.
Oh, I've got a good one.
Bo Nix
We
is 11.
believe.
I want to know this one. I want to know this effect. I want to know the where's Travis Kelce?
Ooh, that's a good
29.
one.
Okay.
He's 29.
All right.
30
See,
is
but this
Max
is for
Crosby.
licensed stuff, so this isn't counting girls that buy the Go Taylor's
Yep.
boyfriend T-shirts. Like those don't count.
Yeah.
This is actually
No,
got
I
to be
know.
NFL
I'm not counting
merch.
Go
Yeah.
Taylor's boyfriends, but I'm sure that there's a handful of them that bought Kelsey jerseys.
And if you switch the last name to Swift on the back, it doesn't count for Travis.
I understand that, but you still have to buy a jersey.
Since you guys were asking, because I know Abdalla really cares about this. So Crosby is 30, Kelsey is 29, 31 is Shadur Sanders.
Oh, okay.
Hey, does being on the Madden cover count? Because Saquon's third, and he was the Madden cover last year. Because if it does,
I don't
then
know.
Caleb is going to shoot up already being at 8.
It says
I would think it
ranking
should
all
count.
officially licensed NFL player branded merchandise sold online, traditional retail.
Dude, I think that
There's
counts.
over
That's like the
85
official NFL
NFLPA
game.
licenses.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
licensed.
Fanatic
Caleb-
stuff. It's Fathead. It's Funko. Let's see what else.
Funko?
It says trading cards, men's, women's, youth game jerseys, T-shirts, hoodies, backpacks, wall decals, pennants, collectibles, figurines, framed photos, bobbleheads, drinkware, pet products.
Pet products.
What's
Caleb
listed here?
Williams
See
pet
all those-
product?
See, that's why Travis is up there because of all the little doggy Kelsey jerseys.
Yeah, I've looked over this list 3 times. Stafford is not in the top 50. Cam Scatabo, though, is 35. And our guy Jackson Dart comes in at 27.
Okay.
What's up?
Yes, so there you go. So that's the list for today's Summer of Football. We're 91 days away from the start of the NFL season on the Summer of Football here on Bleck and Abdalla. The merch list is our feature today with the Summer of Football. Abdalla, you have a list of the most hated college football teams?
Yeah, I do. The most hated, according to RotoWire, the most hated college football teams, a state-by-state map of America's villains. So what they did is they took the most hated team in that state.
Correct.
And then it added up the most hated teams in America.
Okay,
right?
that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
how many states dislike this team?
Yes. So,
And-
like, the most hated team in Michigan is obviously Ohio State.
Yes.
The most hated team in Ohio is obviously
the team up north.
The team up north, right? The most hated team in Illinois, where we broadcast this fine show out of, is also Ohio State.
That doesn't surprise me. I would guess There are two teams that jump to mind. If you say hated in college football,
The most hated team in college football.
it would be Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Okay.
That's my guess, that those are the two teams.
The top 3 most hated teams in college football are third place, the Ohio State University,
Okay, Ohio State's 3.
the University of Alabama is number 2.
A lot of winning as of late. Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
And with 8 states hating this team the most hated team in college football are your Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Okay, so Notre Dame, Alabama, Ohio State.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, the
Yeah.
entire Northeast hates Notre Dame.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
And California.
California,
Yep.
and then also I would guess on the map, every state that's not Alabama hates Alabama. Tennessee,
Yeah.
Louisiana,
Yep.
Mississippi,
Yep.
Florida.
No, Florida hates Georgia.
Oh, okay, all right. Georgia, who's it? Georgia hate? Do they hate Florida too, or is it Alabama?
Alabama.
Yeah. See, everyone in the SEC hates Alabama. I get why that works.
Yeah.
Who does Texas hate? Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the rivals.
Yeah, it's
So
basically.
it's how many states?
Yeah, weirdly, Alaska and Hawaii also hate Alabama the most.
Wouldn't it make more sense for Alaska and Hawaii to hate each other? You're too cold. You're too warm. Neither of us really matter.
Like, you know how the map includes Alaska and Hawaii? It's just 2 Alabama logos.
Yeah, I would admit, like, if you go back 50 years of college football history, it's Notre Dame, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Unless you're a Golden Domer, no one likes Notre Dame.
No one likes Notre Dame. No. Mm-mm.
Where was that list from?
RotoWire.
Did you see yesterday someone did the same thing? It was the same concept. So maybe it was from this exact graphic, but they filled in every state. So the only 2 that they left, Michigan, it said Ohio State. And then every other state in the country, it said Texas Tech.
That's funny.
After what's been going on this week with Tech?
Look, I mean, essentially, Tech might turn into the next Notre Dame if no one wants to schedule them.
They're just going to be an independent and play.
They might be out there trying to have to schedule teams. Like, it might just be Tech plays Notre Dame a bunch of times.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You know, we have an update from Brown's mini camp. I'm serious. Every day, they're passing the football and we're charting passes. Who's in the lead? Brown's quarterback competition. We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Watch out. San Antonio went into Madison Square Garden and won. Don't crown the Knicks just yet. It's a 2-1 series. Can the Spurs even it up? Game 4 tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Make sure you check out the podcast of Bleck and Abdalla on Apple and on Spotify. Also, each and every day, you can watch this show live on YouTube, The Bleck and Abdalla Show. Like and subscribe to Bleck and Abdalla Show on YouTube. Thank you to Roy and Raj for producing today's show. Up next on Westwood One Sports, Jim Rome's coming up in 15 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. Each and every day during the Cleveland Browns mandatory mini camp, we are having a charting and a viewing of the quarterbacks taking place at Cleveland Browns mandatory mini camp. Yesterday, I have the results. So this is the way that the Browns are doing this. So Todd Monken is splitting up the reps.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Todd Monken, yeah.
We know I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
We know he doesn't have split ends.
All right. I mean, we have 15 minutes left in the show. Really?
What? He gets a sweet haircut. He doesn't have split ends. Probably uses a good conditioner. That was a good... Raj, what did you think of that one? Raj?
I have to be honest. My mic was off because I was laughing so hard. That was good. It was good.
Thank you.
It was good.
Oh man.
My-
Okay. All right.
It was good.
I think I'm done for the day.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Take tomorrow off.
You can leave on the high note.
Yeah,
Costanza
while you're
style.
I think I will take tomorrow off.
While you're at it, take tomorrow off. So yesterday,
football,
Shedeur
yeah.
Sanders got the first team reps.
Ooh.
Today, Deshaun Watson gets the first team reps. How did they fare yesterday? Here's the chart. This is from ESPN Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, this is real. In team drills, 11v11 and 7v7. Here's what the two players did. Sanders was 25 for 30 with 1 touchdown. Watson was 15 for 22 with 2 touchdowns. Gabriel, 3 of 4. Green got no passes.
Why are we even mentioning them? Don't even
Because
mention
they're
those two.
part of the quarterback depth
No,
chart.
don't even mention those two.
So there you go. That's the report from yesterday. Shedeur Sanders, 25 of 30, 1 touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 15 of 22, 2 touchdowns. Mandatory minicamp, no pads on, thrown on air, thrown to players. That's what you get. Browns camp report.
Wow. All right. Well, it sounds like Watson had an extra touchdown. A little more efficient.
Okay,
We'll see.
all right.
I mean, listen.
Do you want to make another joke?
No, I'm good. I'm leaving on the high note.
By the way, Dylan Gabriel was rocking number 6.
Yes, I saw that too.
Yeah.
After the jersey was given away.
He gave in. Man.
So that's with Cleveland, their situation, a dumpster fire at quarterback. Here in Chicago, there was an article from Fox Sports talking about Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson, once again, this offseason is pushing Caleb Williams to be a better quarterback. And obviously, the thing that they talk about is completion percentage. They want to up the completion percentage. They also want to limit the mistakes and speed up the clock of Caleb in the pocket. And that's what this article talked about, the meetings between Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and the relationship they've formed over the last year.
Yeah, and I think that that's a good goal to have, to up the completion percentage. I think to take the easy throws when they're there, go through the progressions and all that. And I think he's got a capable staff of wide receivers and tight ends to do that, right? I think Holston Loveland is going to be great. Luther Burden, whenever he got the football and got the opportunities last year, now that DJ Moore is a Bill, is going to be able to help that. Cole Kmet is going to be good. Roma Dunze, if he doesn't drop everything that's thrown to him, should be good too. So I think that when you do the completion percentage game, though, what we saw last year in the offense, the Bears were going for big chunk plays. And those were always hit or miss, right? Like you would go for these big 15-yard gains and because you were putting pressure on the defense constantly. And you're not going to hit every single one of those. But when you do, you're moving the ball progressively in big chunks down the field. And that does lead to a lower completion percentage. But I do think that with another year and a full offseason here with Ben Johnson, this is going to get easier. And even Ben Johnson has said this year he's learning as a play caller, and he's a better play caller now. So I think all of this is going to lead to a better completion percentage. And I do think that the completion percentage is a little bit overblown because of the chunk plays and the way that they operate their offense. I think it's a little overblown.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Ben Johnson talks about his offense is he wants chunk plays because to him, it's more valuable than the dink and dunk, easy, safe throws. He talked about in the article that they're essentially looking at and what Ben Johnson was quoted in saying is that there's probably 80 to 90 throws that they thought Caleb could have completed last year that he did not.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you take that into account for this upcoming season, if he's able to do that, he will be closer to that 70% completion percentage that they're talking about. Now, the article also pointed out that some of that was route running. wide receivers dropping passes.
Exactly.
But then Ben Johnson never makes an excuse for Caleb. He says Caleb needs to find a way to complete those balls no matter what. So whether it's a different receiver that he's throwing to or making an earlier decision. The one other thing to pull from this article on Fox Sports talking about Ben Johnson and his challenges for Caleb Williams in this upcoming season is this item. Ben Johnson on the dramatic wins at the end of last season, right? The Bear, and it's something you and I have talked about. We're Bears fans. We're also realists. Even though our guys on the cover of Madden, the Bears are featured in primetime 6 or 7 times this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see the Bears. They were good last year. There's no guarantee that they will be good in this upcoming season because a lot of what they did last year is not sustainable. Turnover margin heavily in their favor, even though their defense was terrible. End of the game comebacks with Caleb pulling stuff out of his back end and the Bears just finding a way to win games, including the playoff games that they beat. The 2 games against the Packers at the end of the season were unbelievable comebacks. You can't repeat that stuff. Mm-hmm. Here's the quote from Ben Johnson on the dramatic wins late in the season. Quote, "It goes back to the term that I learned early as a coordinator called unsustainable success." End quote. And that's what it is. Turnover margin is not something that translates from one season to the next. The way that they came back in some of those games, you can't guarantee that that's going to take place. Now, I know there's plenty of Bears fans who listen to us because we were on the air in Chicago for many years who are going to say you guys are being haters or we're good enough to do that stuff. And it's like, okay, maybe Caleb turns into that type of quarterback.
Yeah.
Where no matter what, in the final 5 minutes of a game, as long as the Bears are within 2 scores, they can win games. I wouldn't approach a season with the mindset of trying to make that the way of life. Do you know what I mean? Like they need to find a way to get up early in these games and have success earlier so then they don't have to worry about that stuff.
You don't want the winning games by 1 score pendulum to swing the other way. And I think that's why a lot of people and a lot of the metrics looking at next season are down on the Bears. And why, if you say looking at the odds, you're like, why are the Bears just won their division. Why are they 3rd in odds to win their division next year? Well, they were very high in the turnover margin. They had all these come from behind wins. And that is not sustainable, just like Ben Johnson said. So what's the way to remedy that? Get up in games early, maintain that lead, be better on defense, get to the quarterback, which they didn't address. So, you can say, sure, you might be able to do all these things again. But also, there was a handful of luck to go into that. You had to recover an onside kick in a game, which is insanely hard to do now with the new kickoff rules.
It's like a 2% odds to get an onside kick, and the Bears had one pop right into their lap.
Exactly. So it'll be tough.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good article on Fox Sports, so check it out. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Hanging out with you tomorrow. The World Cup starts. We'll cover it here on the show, noon Eastern. Jim Rome's coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.